Hello again, folks. It's Lance from JR Jeep. It is a lovely day, although a bit hot. Sunny, although it looks like it's going to threaten for storms, so it's been looking that way all day. Today, what we're going to discuss is I am changing up my tail lights on the Jeep again, on dangerous type. I'll explain to you the reason why I'm doing that, because it came about. I just returned from a couple-week trip. I did a number of things, and I will share videos with all of those things except one in upcoming videos. What traversed is basically the first part of my vacation, which started last week Tuesday, is I transversed the rest of the Trans-Wisconsin Adventure Trail from Sparta, which is where I left off, and going to Cornucopia in Bayfield, Wisconsin. That was a fantastic trip. I had one stopover because, of course, just getting up to Sparta was 3.5 hour drive to start there, and by the time I got about halfway up the trail, it was already about 7 hours on the road. And so I wanted to get a bite to eat, relax a little bit, and start the next day fresh, because the next day was going to be a long day, because I did not stop over and stay in Bayfield once I got there. Basically, I drove up to Bayfield, shot some video footage, went over to the town of Bayfield itself, had lunch there, just walked around the town a little bit to stretch the legs, and then headed down to Moe Lake. Moe Lake Casino was where they were hosting the 29th annual Northwoods Jeep Jamboree, which I participated in. This is the first Jeep Jamboree event I was in. I can say nothing but good things about the event. It was awesome. And like I said, in an upcoming video, I'll show you some of that. Unfortunately, because it is an event that is paid for and by other people who are there, I couldn't shoot from different angles and that, so it's going to be pretty much trail cam footage. I'll share some insights with you, and I think you might find it beneficial. But in relation to that, my second day at the Jeep Jamboree, I was in the middle of the line going out to our trail. And they had our guides, one in front, one in back, traversing with us. And going out, we would run our lights in the morning because it was early, and being on the road, we want to make sure our lights are on. When we go on the trail, we turn them off, so we went blind to guides. Halfway out, the guy pipes up on the radio and says that my Jeep has its backup lights on, even though I'm running down the road and drive. And checking later, we did see that that was definitely the case. It was only when the lights were on, not normal driving. So during the day, it was fine, didn't run into a problem. It would just be at night. So fortunately, I wasn't doing much night driving, so that didn't cause an issue. But it was something I wanted to address as soon as I got home. So as I mentioned, I had come home a little earlier than I anticipated because of a situation that happened to me this last Monday when going down to what was going to be my next venue, which was doing photography at EAAR Venture, something I always enjoy. It's always a great time, and that's one of my passions besides off-roading and jeeping, is photography and aviation, wildlife. I'll get into that later, but that didn't transpire. Long story short, I ended up home on Wednesday. I contacted my trusted mechanic that I know, telling about the taillight situation, just asking him if he would have first steps for me to look at. And he knew that I had third-party taillights on my Jeep. He said, once in a while with those LED ones, the resistor in that does go awry and cause issues. He would say that would be the first thing he would try. And I sort of concurred with that, and the nice thing was I still had my old Jeep taillights. I didn't dispose of them when I took them off. So after putting those in, sure enough, it was just the taillight, not the wiring or anything. So that was a plus, definitely. So the taillights I'm talking about, and this isn't the exact model name, and I'll put that in the description. And again, I'm not bashing them. It's just I would have expected something to last longer than 2 years. They're known as a big C taillight because when it's lit up, it is a big C for the brake light. They are fairly bright. I like them for that purpose. They were well touted I did some reviews on YouTube prior when I put these in, like I said, 2 years ago. Didn't have any problems with them up until now. The cost of these were around $100 for the pair. Not that expensive, but still I would expect them to last a little bit longer. Like I said, I had the old tail lights yet, which also had basically a guard on those. I stuck those in the meantime and found out that there was nothing with the wiring, as I said, just the lights. So let's go on to what I'm putting in now. And this was a recommendation of my mechanic, something that's easy, plug and play, and for good long-standing lights. So we'll get to it. So the lights I picked up. So the lights I picked up are by Combat Off-Road. These are called the Tail Gunner Armored Tail Light Kit. So let's open up and see what we got. See in here they provide the strings as well. Instructions doesn't look like it. One thing, this does help support veterans, tries to make a difference. Mission, help and support as many veterans and families as possible. Do you choose to accept? Scan that code from Combat Off-Road. The light itself is very well put together. It is a smaller design than what we're used to with the Jeeps, but that's also less of a light to get dinged up, which I think is a huge accomplishment as well. Now, what I look at is how these go into place. So right and left. We have our harness here. Just going to attach these. Looking at place. Okay, so let's take our screws. Let's see what the new ones are. So they're not supposed to get all the same length. So I'm snugging it down a little bit first, just to get it centered. That's a really clean look. Well, so okay, so we got the one on. Let's take a look at this. Let's see what it looks like. So I'm going to fire up the Jeep like that. The side markers are really bright. These are bright without being unintrusive. Notice my backlight lights aren't on, so that's a good. Blinker is really nice and bright. That's something that's important to me. I've done some major light upgrades lately, headlights and the tail lights. I will show you the headlights as well, but I think it's important being seen as seeing ahead. So that's why I think these are awesome upgrade. So all it takes for me right now is put the other light on the other side and we'll be squared away on that. As you can see, I think these are awesome lights. I think they're going to serve the purpose really well. And like I said, I will show you upcoming one on the headlights I put in as well. These were also a recommendation from my mechanic Dave. I think he's given me some really good insight, and they are fantastic. Definitely a big step above standard Jeep head. I had upgraded 3 years ago because that was one of the first things I did because the lights were so bad on it, to the KC light standard halogens, and they were good. I'm not knocking them. They're decent lights, but these give off so much more light, the ones I put in now. And sorry, you're going to have to wait till I can show you the full video on that. If you like this video, folks, please consider giving a thumbs up and following. I try to share content that I think is pertinent to everybody, be a beginner or somebody that's more seasoned. Forgive the dustiness of my Jeep. Like I said, I've been off-road for a while, so it got a little dusty. Also consider giving a comment. I like to hear what you have to think about these things, and if there's something that you'd like to see me do, I'll definitely try if it's within my power to do so. Again, all these upgrades I paid for. I'm not endorsed by a company to do these, so you can take in account that this is my own money coming out to buy these products. I wouldn't do so unless I thought they were valid. So until next time, folks, have a great day. Get out there, get off-road, hit a trail, or just go somewhere with a lovely view and enjoy. I'll see you next time. Bye.